Hey guys, welcome to Leaves and Lungs. So today we're gonna start a series on pest management. So today's topic is going to be about on pheromones and the pest management. So pheromones are these are like actually a interesting topic. So basically you have to know what is pheromones are. Pheromones are nothing but these are the signals that is given by a man to a female or a female to a man. This is what the actual concept is. But to put it in the exam perspective, like you need to know the definition. So you have to remember these words at all. So these are the chemicals secreted into the external environment. Okay. So this is the key thing you have to understand. They are not secreted inside the body as like hormones. They are secreted outside the environment. Okay. So outside the environment means it's gonna like attract the another animal. So this is gonna elicit a specific reaction in a receiving individual of the same species. And like they are like mostly exocrine is like something that is secreted outside the body. Okay, and they can be classified into two groups. One is primer pheromones and releaser pheromones. So primer pheromones is actually nothing but so just imagine the small example. So there is an insect A and there is an insect B. Okay, so insect A is giving a signal, that is an pheromone, and this is like actually reaching B. Okay, so what does this pheromone do is actually it does not change the behavior of the character of the insect. It just elicit a chain of physiological changes. Okay, so just a small physiological changes will happen if A releases that primer pheromone. Okay, so this is actually what the definition is. So they mainly act through gustatory sensilla. Gustatory is actually nothing but it is a taste receptors. Okay, so they will release the substances and B might come and taste this, and with help of the taste receptors the chain of physiological changes will happen inside the body, but there is no any immediate change in the behavior. Okay, so for example caste determinations and the reproduction in social insects like ants, bees, wasps and termites are mediated by primary pheromones. That is like we have the all the sensors to currently identify is an Asian, is an American, is a African, but insects don't have that kind of distinguishing nature. So to determine which caste they belong to which clan they belong to, each group of insects they produce a specific kind of secretions, that is pheromones. So with help of these pheromones they can determine the caste, they can like exactly find their reproducing partner to aid in reproduction. So this is how primer pheromones actually help in the real life. But basically what happens is almost like also like they are not much of practical value in integrated pest management. Okay, because there's not going to be any external behavior change, there's going to be only internal physiological change. So with help of only the physiological change you're not going to achieve anything in integrated pest management. And the second thing is a release of pheromones. So contrasting to the thing what we saw in the previous primer pheromones, this pheromones is going to elicit a change in the behavior of the recipient. Okay, so with help of that change it is going to be hugely successful in integrated pest management. I'll tell you how. So here in the previous cases the primer pheromones were acting through the gustatory, that is through the smell, but here it is mainly through the olfactory sensilla. Olfactory is nothing but the smell receptors. Okay, and they directly act on the central nervous system and they modify their behavior. So there are like basically four kinds of release of pheromones. The one is the most important, sex pheromones, aggregation pheromones, alarm pheromones and trail pheromones. So we will deal what is each pheromone in the upcoming classes. So today we will deal about the mainly about the sex hormones, sex pheromones. So sex pheromones like they are basically released by only one sex. So in case of maybe if you take a cotton mothballs, there is like only one sex involved, so only male will produces the pheromones or either female will produces the pheromones. So this pheromones is gonna attract the opposite sex obviously, and with help of this attraction we gonna like achieve the integrated pest management through the following methods. I'll tell you what are the methods. So before that you need to remember these things. So it is released by only one sex as I told earlier, and mostly it is by the females. Almost of the identified pheromones we have almost 150 kinds of female pheromones, whereas in males there is almost like only little of about 50. Okay, and you need to remember this word also. So aphrodisiac are substances that aid in stimulating sexual desire of the insects after the two sexes are brought together. Okay, so just remember this word because it might be handy in writing the answers and all. Okay, So this is a basic thing that has been asked in exams also. What is the major difference between the male and female produced pheromones? So like just remember these things. Range, you know that females act as a long range and they attract males from a longer distances, whereas male it does a short distances. And like role of other stimulus is they play less role, and there is like visual and auditory stimulus, they play a major role. Okay, action elicited in other sexes, they attracts and excites males to copulate, whereas here the female who are not willing to have proper sex, this pheromones will reduces the resistance to mating. Okay, can you understand this? So they reduces the resistance to mating, so they like what to say, they impresses the females, they attract the females, they lower the female resistance to have sex with the males. Okay, so this is how it actually acts. And importance, as I told before, female sex hormones are more important because they have a long range, whereas male sex hormones it's like very less important. So I will tell you how pest management with sex pheromones is actually is. Okay, so example, so this is a field. Okay, and you have a plant infected here. Okay, there is a species, for example, you take any species. Okay, and this is releasing pheromones. Okay, so this pheromones what actually does is, so it will bring all those insects that is lying hidden, and you can lay a trap here and you can almost like eradicate almost all the pest. Okay, so just like using one pheromones from insects, you can almost trap almost all the colonies. Okay, maybe like not all the colonies, but at least like 50%. So example, if we have a female silkworm here and it secretes a pheromone, you can attract all the things that is like all the males, and you can lay a trap and you can destroy. So this is how the pest management actually works. So with help of this technique we can sample and detect various kinds of pest, and we can attract and kill. This is called as mass trapping, and also you can disrupt the mating. So this is called as confusion or decoy method. And last, in sampling and detection, as I said earlier before, uh, it can use to help to sample and monitor various kinds of species and various kinds of pheromones that is very necessary to like lay the trap. Okay, so this is how actually the pest management actually works here. So like here I've written like basic some examples. So because you know that in the point of examiner's view, always quoting examples is very good because they will beef up to your marks. Because when you quote 2 or 3 examples, the examiner will always like have that idea that the candidate is the worthy candidate to credit enough 2 or 3 extra marks also. Okay, so just remember, at least if not the 7, at least just remember the basic 2 or 3. For example, silkworm, bombicole, and pink bollworm, gossip lore, cabbage looper, loop lure. So just remember these things. Okay, because when you write the answers along with the examples, it gives a good impression for the correctors to while correcting your papers. Okay, so we will continue with the series in the upcoming lecture videos. Do support us if you actually feel it's helping you in any way. Okay, so guys, thank you for spending your time with us, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.